Members of the media, thank you for availing yourself this afternoon. You know that the situation that we have around the country in terms of tropical depression number 14 and tropical depression number 15. The event that we have had last night and also yesterday was actually alluded to tropical depression number 15. It is now moving slowly out of the country, and number 14 is actually settling in. So there is another system that is just outside of the Solomon Islands, tropical depression number 16. It may also move to our parts of the country, but then that one is a few days away. In terms of what has already happened on the ground, for our evacuation centers, there are only 2 divisions that are having evacuation centers for this tropical disturbance that we have, and that are the Western Division and also the Central Division. The Central Division has evacuation centers. 3 are currently open with the 56 evacuees. The higher number is in the Western Division with 79 evacuation centers and 3,592 evacuees as of 3 p.m. today. So the total now is actually 3,668. 3,648 evacuees with 82 evacuation centers that are currently being activated. And the number of deaths is 1, and also missing is 1. In terms of the roads that we have, for the major roads along the Kings and the Queens Road, actually it's only Singatoka that is currently closed at the moment. 4-wheel drives and other bigger vehicles can access through Nandi. But for the system that is now upon us, we would be expecting some heavy rain tonight. And as I speak now, we also have full tide, and you would expect the majority of our rivers, especially in Vitilevu and Honolevu, to also rise because of that. This may carry on until tonight and also tomorrow. So for that reason, we would request our members of the public to be aware of the situation that we are in right now. The impending flood water that we would be expecting from tonight and also for tomorrow, that is something that we should be prepared for. And it will be good if communities actually prepare themselves during daylight. As we have known in the past, and you are advised in the past, for those who have livestock to move them now to higher ground if it has not been done so. Those who live in flood-prone areas, and if they feel they are not safe for tonight, it will be good if they can move to the nearest evacuation centers. The schools are actually being opened to cater for evacuees that are needed in their particular area. The Methodist Church has also given the green light for their churches and also for their church halls to be used as evacuation centers during this time. I would like to emphasize on the safety of our children. We have noticed in the past that some of our children are actually playing in flooded waters. That is very dangerous. We have already lost 1 life. We do not want to lose another one. And the other thing is that we would like to encourage family safety. Where now, as we are approaching wet weather tonight, we would expect the families to stay together rather than being separate. There may also be a curfew that can be provided later in the evening that is subject to the changing weather pattern that we are going through, but the general public and the people to be aware of the situation that we are in. We are still under the declared state of natural disaster or emergency period. It is important, therefore, that members of the public, they take heed, and also the various agencies that take heed, because the emergency period is not over yet. So that is the situation that we have so far. Thank you. Questions time?
So, Ellen from FBC TV. In terms of the police and the military response, how has that been on the ground in terms of these divisions affected?
Thank you. Actually, the discipline forces through the divisional commissioners at the various areas, they're working around the clock to ensure the safety of the people. They are working with the divisional commissioners. And likewise here in the capital, it's also at the national level that the police are also informed and they are in their very strategic areas for this evening and also for tomorrow. Any other?
Has the any help also come from the Australian force or any other international help?
As far as we are concerned, they are here for the Winston one. I'm sure if there is a situation where they can help, but it's the importance now is for our local discipline forces who are being stationed at the various divisional commissioners' the areas, for them to take the lead in this operation. One more.
Elizabeth from Legend FM. Just in terms of floodwater levels in Nandi, Simatoka, is there any update?
Okay, that at the moment, that as I had mentioned, we would expect the impact of this two tropical depression to impact us more tonight, and we would expect an increase in the water levels. The point from here, from the NDMO, is to advise the public to be aware of the rising waters and to be aware of the flooded areas and to move to safety grounds while it's still daylight, rather than in the darkness. Hello?
So we just started with rebuilding our lives from Cyclone Winston,
Right.
and then we have this again. How prepared is NDMO for this?
Well, let's look at the situation that we have as natural. It's not ours. It's not something that we initiated. So for that, we can only be prepared of what is in front of us. It is a challenge for the government at the moment of what we are going through, because now we have two depressions that are actually affecting the country, and we still have most of our community who are still living in tents and challenged conditions. So with the current situation that we have now, it's a challenge to government, but the government is doing all its best through its hands from the national level right down to the subnational level to help out with our communities.